A lovely, lovely good morning to you, our dear listener. Welcome to Don Bosco Youth Vibes, a show that comes your way every Saturday morning. Now, today we are talking a very interesting topic, and it is issues to do with culture and basically how it just influences our development from the time that we come into this world or from the time that we are born, even as we grow. Each and everything that we do is just based on the culture, and most of all, on the morals that our parents inculcate in us. But then of late, we have noticed that if not the old ones, then it is basically this new generation that is struggling to cope up with life issues. And this could be physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, financially, and even academically for me and Alice.
Oh, true.
And indeed socially, due to not have had a proper maybe raising up, and maybe because it is it is due to challenges of the past. Maybe it is because of the pain you encounter when you were a child. Some things were missing. You missed a father figure, you missed a mother figure. And so today our question to the listeners is, how can we as Christians be of help to heal and have a healthy family? Is it even possible to have a healthy family in this generation, where we are seeing a high number of divorce cases, where we are seeing parents always fighting every now and then? So maybe we would like to just now bring it down to the specialist who we have in the studio, or the expert. We have heard from people use words such as trauma, and today we are talking trauma to begin with, to try and understand the raising of a child. So I would like to hear from you. What is trauma?
Trauma, of course, this is, in simple terms, this is an emotional response or psychological response to a terrible event. Maybe something has happened in life. These terrible events can be an accident, can be violence, can be child abuse or sexual abuse. But how you emotionally and psychologically respond to that is what we can
call trauma.
When we talk about trauma, this is like an example that I gave, how we respond emotionally to distressing incidences. Let's say losing somebody. It's not something that you can just resolve in a day.
True.
Okay. So others may end up having disturbances as a result of that event or that situation. Or maybe you are involved in an accident. You didn't expect it. Okay, of course, accidents are not planned. They always come as a surprise. But how you respond emotionally and psychologically, do you still feel distressed about that moment, where the distress comes in with maybe I experience sadness or experience social withdrawals as some of the behaviors, or maybe even just nightmares about it. You sleep, you start dreaming about the same event or that incidents. Now it begins even to disturb your way normal of life. Bonding in a human relationship is where two or more people come together, emotionally connect, psychologically connect, as well as physically connect.
Is there a toxic bonding? Is there any form of bonding that is toxic? For example, I'm just here, maybe like wanting to bond with this person who I don't even know. So could that bonding be toxic? Does toxic bonding exist?
Yes, there is. There is, which we can qualify as trauma bonding, which we are talking about today, where people get to, should we define trauma bonding now? I think this toxic or trauma bonding is a bonding that involves like different emotions or emotions happening, negative and positive ones, where I'm very physical with you, violent, of course, beating you, shouting at you, emotional and whatnot, abusing you. And then I become so sweet all of a sudden.
Just for a minute.
That's toxic.
I just come so sweet to you. If you are my red, maybe my woman, I mean, like, just from beating you, baby, do you want to eat something? So that you begin to forget that, okay, there's even an incident that happened that traumatized you, because, of course, maybe an instance of violence. That's a traumatic experience. You feel you are scared about it. Okay, what if maybe this person maybe had killed me, or maybe they even choked you, and maybe you're even bleeding, and then all of a sudden this person just like nothing happened. They're so loving, they're so caring, they even maybe want to take you for dinner. So that is bonding that is built on under or around trauma. So you don't know whether this person, and now the effect of it is that you get trapped in that situation.
Exactly.
You get trapped where you fail to come out. People might even advise you about it. Oh, look at this relationship that you are in. This guy beats you, or this woman shouts at you, does this and this. And then for you, you would forget about all those things, and they're very important. Okay? You will just focus on, but he's sweet, but he does this, but he does this and this and this.
And I think we're having a lot of that nowadays.
Like toxicity is just addictive.
Yes.
Exactly.
Now, Mr. Francis, we people most oftentimes tend to judge others just from a distance, without maybe having interacted with them, or without having understood them or where they're coming from. Just for the fact that you're a drunkard, just for the fact that you are an alcoholic, you abuse alcohol, you are that person who's always in the club, you insult, and all that kind of things that comes with growth, society, and interacting with different people. Do you think that people tend to react or act in this manner because they are coming from an unhealthy family?
The environment that you grow up in eventually shapes the person that you become. So there are some behaviors or attitudes that are hereditary in nature. Some you learn them as you grow. So it's very important to in a family setup, because these things start from a relationship setup, where you know that this person is abusing you, but there's this level of dependence on this person to say, if I leave this relationship, maybe Mugazi
As an
as aspire, because this is what they use.
Exactly.
They'll tell you, the moment you are going to leave me, I'm going to
die.
To do this.
The manipulation.
And then you feel more like dependent on what they are telling you.
You feel indebted.
Exactly. So these conditions or these behaviors, one are hereditary in nature, then two, you learn.
There are people who come from a very, very healthy family, and probably they've never even experienced any trauma growing up. Their parents tried to do a good job raising their kids in a healthy home, in a happy family. And then when they go out there, they get to be faced with all these things around them. Who do you think does bonding trauma affect more, and why?
I would go for the children, because children accumulate things in their minds real quick, and they are sensitive to change of situations real quick. So if they start to notice a certain change in the family, say maybe mom and dad are now fighting, or dad is treating me in a wrong way, or mom is treating me in a wrong way, they start to register that in their minds, and they build on that. At the end of the day, they start to feel unloved, neglected, they don't feel wanted. So primarily, I think toxic family trauma bonding is mainly affects children. Yeah.
So what are we going to do to be of help to these people who are toxic? Or is there any permanent solution that we think that as individuals we should put into consideration, and perhaps even drag it all the way to our families to have a better society?
I think as people that know certain people that are involved in such things should at least be there for them and give proper advice, and also know what you are saying. Do not just say things from without. Say things from within that make sense, because you may not know how that person will take your advice. So be there for a friend, be a brother's keeper. That's all I can say.
Open up to people. Some of these things, what I call simple demons, just pray about it. You don't even need to fast. Pray. Then everything else will be okay. If given a chance to love yourself first.
If you know you're having trauma bonding or you have some sort of trauma, we have our expertise, or you could go to Serenity or any other organization that is able to help you take care of the environment and take care of yourself too. Thank you.
Any situation that you face and you don't resolve it, it has a potential to affect you and affect the environment around you. If it doesn't affect you much, know that you might also pass it to another person. And trauma has got that kind of characteristic, if I put it. If you don't resolve it, trust me, you would begin to put that on other people, and you pass it on to other people because of how you're going to behave, your responses of that situation. So let's learn to, like my colleagues have said, let's learn to talk about issues that we feel are a distress to us. Seek help, see a specialist. Of course, where you think you got your family members and or maybe friends, they cannot help, I think let's normalize seeking professional help.
Thank you so much for joining us on today's episode. We were talking family, we were talking toxicity, we were talking about different ways on how to raise a proper society in this generation and how to ensure that we come, to an end with regards to toxicity, suicide, and all those different kind of cases. Our quest today was to try and understand reasons as to why and how certain people behave in a certain way, why we are having problems all the time, suicide cases, divorce cases, and of course we shall continue to tackle these and more issues right here on Don Bosco Youth Vibes. So do catch us next week, same time, same place. Don't forget to watch our content on YouTube, to like and follow us on Facebook. We are Don Bosco Youth Vibes, and we are Don Bosco Youth Network Zambia on YouTube.